Welcome everyone, I'm Dale and this is Cinema Historia. A wealthy businessman, an Italian villa, and an impatient mistress. This week we're going back to 1961 for a romantic comedy film called Come September, starring Rock Hudson, Gina Lollobrigida, Sandra Dee, and Bobby Darin. And this is directed by Robert Mulligan. So, where does our story begin this week? Well, our story begins with wealthy American businessman Robert Talbot, played by Rock Hudson. Robert owns an upscale villa on the Italian Riviera coast, where he and his Roman mistress, Lisa Fellini, played by Gina Lollobrigida, spend September each year. Being anxious, Robert has his Rolls Royce shipped and rearranges his entire schedule to be with Lisa in July. Meanwhile, Lisa, who is tired of being his mistress 1 month of the year, is making arrangements to marry Spencer. When Robert visits in July, he calls upon Lisa en route from Milano. An excited Lisa cancels her wedding, much to Spencer's disappointment, and rushes to meet him. Upon his arrival at the villa, Robert discovers that in his absence, his major domo, Maurice Clavel, has converted the villa into a hotel named La Dolce Vista. Furious that this has been going on for 6 years, Robert also sees it is currently hosting a group of teenage girls, including Sandy, played by Sandra Dee, and their chaperone, Margaret Allison. A demanded departure is delayed when Margaret slips on a champagne bottle cork and is transported to the hospital. In the meantime, 4 teenage boys, led by Tony, played by Bobby Darin, who had irritated Robert on the drive to his villa, set up camp outside the villa and begin courting the girls. Not trusting the boys, Robert and Lisa chaperone the girls on a moped sightseeing tour, with the boys taking along disappointed. With Tony and his friends trying to wear Robert down, they end up at a music club, with Robert dancing with each of the girls, lecturing about virtues and stressing the importance of chastity. Trying to get Robert drunk backfires, and when Sandy tells Lisa about Robert's lecturing virtues, Lisa becomes infuriated over his double standards. So, does the boys' drunkenness disappoint the teenage girls? Does Robert try to explain why love only blooms in September? Or does Lisa depart, hoping to reunite with her former fiancé? Released August 9, 1961, American screenwriters Stanley Shapiro and Maurice Richland began work on the script in late 1959. With an 86% rating from the film critic Rotten Tomatoes, this film received 2 wins and 1 nomination. A 1961 Bambi win for Best Actor International for Rock Hudson, a 1962 Golden Globe win for Most Promising Newcomer Male for Bobby Darin, and a 1961 Bambi nominee for Best Actress International for Gina Lollobrigida. And the Motion Picture Herald stated, a lavish romantic romp set on the breathtaking Italian Riviera. Yes, this is very comical, but also very, very scenic. And our trivia question this week, did love really blossom between co-stars during the making of this film? Did love really blossom between co-stars during the making of this film? So, a little more history and the answer to our trivia question coming up next. Now, since our film is titled Come September, the month September is the subject of this week's history. So, September is the 9th month of the year in the Gregorian calendar, which has 30 days in length, this adopted by the British Empire in 1752. The September equinox takes place in this month, when the sun appears to cross the celestian equator heading southbound. The Gregorian calendar has lists of official status and general observance days that are quite interesting, and I hope everyone had a great Labor Day. Yes, the first Monday is Labor Day in Canada and the US. September 3rd is Merchant Navy Remembrance Day in Canada. That's a nice one. September 4th is National Macadamia Nut Day in the U.S. September 5th is National Cheese Pizza Day in the U.S. September 7th is National Acorn Squash, Beer Lovers, and Salami Day in the U.S. Here's a neat one. September 10th is National TV Dinner Day in the U.S. September 12th is National Chocolate Milkshake Day in the U.S. September 14th is National Cream-Filled Donut and Eat a Hoagie Day in the U.S. September 15th is Free Money Day. Yes, it is a global social experiment held annually. Participants hand out money to strangers, asking them to pass half on to someone else. September 19th is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Yes, and I'll be doing a swashbuckler on that day. It is a Thursday. September 22nd is World Car Free Day. Yes, people are encouraged to travel by means other than a car. This list is too large to mention them all, but last but not least, September 28th is Ask a Stupid Question Day in the U.S. The zodiac signs are Virgo until September 22nd and Libra September 23rd onward. September's birthstone is the sapphire, and the birth flowers are Forget-Me-Not, Morning Glory, and Aster. And some of the birth dates from the golden era of cinema, well, ladies first, Greta Garbo, September 18th, 1905, Claudette Colbert, September 13th, 1903, Lauren Bacall, September 16th, 1924, Sophia Loren, September 20th, 1934, and some of the male actors, George Raft, September 26, 1895. Marie Chevalier, September 12, 1888, and actually he was making movies up until the late 60s. Mickey Rooney, September 23, 1920. Peter Sellers, September 8, 1925. Roddy McDowall, September 17, 1928. And Walter Pidgeon, September 23, 1897. And Walter Pidgeon was born in St. John, New Brunswick. Isn't that cool? In the U.S., September is one of the most common birth months, the most common birthday being September 9th. And our trivia question, or the answer to our trivia question this week, did love really blossom between co-stars during the making of this film? Yes, and it usually is yes. I should come up with one that's a no. Yes, it was between Bobby Darin and Sandra Dee. Tony, played by Bobby Darin, and Sandy, played by Sandra Dee, met while on location, fell in love, with Bobby marrying his lovely co-star just 10 days after filming Wrapped on December 1st, 1960. Bobby Darin composed the Come September theme as well as the song Multiplication that he performs in the film. The newlyweds went on to co-star together in two other romantic comedies, If a Man Answers in 1962, and That Funny Feeling in 1965, and I have that film. If someone would like a review on that one, please leave it in the comments. I'd like to give a big thank you to everyone that supports my channel, and a big happy birthday to everyone celebrating this month, in the months of September, and to everyone else. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope to see you back next week.